Today's computer problem at Cape Canaveral was distressing, perhaps, but for most Americans, not totally surprising. As a society, we've become used to computer problems of one kind or another, just as we've become used to computers. We're so used to them, in fact, that few of us stop to think of the extent to which they now play a role in our everyday lives, a role that shows every sign of growing even bigger. We have two reports. The first from Bettina Gregory.
You can't do the simplest things today without using a computer. You can't cash a personal check. You can't even make a phone call without linking into the telephone company's computer. And if you go to the supermarket, the chances are good a computer will check out your groceries, mechanically assisted by a human being. In some areas, computers have replaced humankind. In Washington, the subway system is run by computer. True, motormen ride in the cabs, but only as a backup to this computerized service. In the airline industry, computers will reserve your seat on a plane. And make no mistake, when you take off, it's the computers who tell air traffic controllers how to get you safely to your destination. Computers have revolutionized the personal credit card industry. Credit card billing would be a lot harder to do without the computer. And of course, the computer provides the inevitable excuse for mistakes in your bills. Humans often feel like Don Quixote tilting at windmills when it comes to fighting the almighty computer.
Hackers penetrate and ravage delicate, private, and publicly owned computer systems, infecting them with viruses and stealing materials for their own ends. These people,
Agent Richard Gill, your hacker enemy #1, man.
Thank you, Mr.
You're a boner.
MoneyGram owns about 5% of the global remittance market. How will this deal work?
Emily, it's great to be back. Thank you. The deal is a big step, I think, for Ripple, but it's even a bigger step for the overall industry. As you know well, there's been a lot of excitement around what blockchain and what digital assets and crypto can mean for the industry, and I think it's the reason why players like Facebook are diving in also. But we haven't yet seen much beyond experimentation, and really at Ripple, I think we are the market leader because we have matured aggressively and we're really solving real problems for real customers. MoneyGram is just the manifestation of that, and as the second largest global remittance company, we're able to have a big impact with one customer and one partner in this.
Yo, showtime, showtime!
What's going on?
4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to our show, Hack the Planet.
Hack the planet!
And for those late night hacks, Dope Cola, the soft drink of the elite hacker.
Who are these guys?
It's Razor and Blade.
So tell me what this deal involves, because I know Ripple is a blockchain company, which is certainly all the fashion right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's certainly extremely exciting for MoneyGram, as you know, and we've talked about. We're going through what we call a digital transformation to improve the company's business model and really think differently about how we interact with customers and how we put customers kind of at the center of everything they do. And that, in today's day and age begins with digital technologies and capabilities. And for us, Ripple brings a really interesting capability to our service. And as we look to evolve our operations to take advantage of cutting-edge proven technologies and become more efficient, Ripple brings exactly that with their XRapid XRP platform, which really is going to enable us to improve our global settlement and foreign exchange and liquidity management processes in a pretty dynamic way.
I think the reason we developed Interledger and the reason we built an interoperability protocol was because of that exact realization. It wasn't going to be everyone using one system. There was going to be a number of different systems. And actually, behind it is another realization, which is, my goal has always been, to solve the problem of, the friction in payments, right? And so I realized that decentralization wasn't necessarily the solution, because you see PayPal, they come out, they're free, then eventually they jack up their fees when they have an established market position. But then you see Bitcoin doing the same thing, not necessarily with as much sort of agency, but it still happens that way. And so what you got to think about is, right now, when you're on a payment network, you can only send money to the people on the same network. And that's kind of like pre-internet online services, where you could have like CompuServe, and you can email anyone on CompuServe, and you can use any services that are on CompuServe, but you can't access any services that are on Genie, right? And so CompuServe has this like moat. They have a defensibility around their reach. And so that's really what you gotta commoditize or what you gotta attack. And so with payments, it's still that way today where like if you're on the same payment network, you can pay each other. If you're on different networks, you can't. If you want to pay from your PayPal account to a mobile money account in Tanzania, you're screwed, you can't. Yet I can totally go on my mobile phone in Tanzania and open any website in the world, right? So we need that kind of interoperability, and that's really what creates the competition that drives down the cost. The reason we think that XRP is going to have a role in this system is because we've been doing, I mean, not to toot our own horn too much, but like we've been doing really well in terms of like the performance and the characteristics of the protocol. So I think a lot of people will choose to use XRP if there is sort of a lot of competition. Whereas like right now you use Bitcoin even though it's expensive. You use Bitcoin even though it's slow. I think if there's a lot of competition, people will pick the most efficient, which would be XRP right now.
That's right, this is a payphone.
Don't ask. As you can see, this is just a simple micro cassette recorder. Hook it up to the phone and drop in $5 in quarters.
Record the tones that the coins make, then hang up and get your money back.
And never again pay for a service that would be dirt cheap.
If it weren't run by a bunch of profiteering gluttons.
Remember, hacking is more than just a crime. It's a survival trait.